With a firing in AEW and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. When it comes to having WWE stars in the upcoming UFC video game, given the merger under Endeavor that is rumored to be completed next week, Sean Ross Sapp said that with WWE and UFC soon reaching a merger with Endeavor, Fightful asked if the possibility of WWE talent being in the game had been broached. EA UFC developers confirmed that they did ask if that was possible, but were told that until the merger is complete, it isn't likely something that will even be really heavily discussed. WWE is currently licensed by 2K for their games. Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and Matt Riddle are all on the current WWE roster and have fought in the UFC. Bobby Lashley competed in Strikeforce, which was bought by UFC. Sonya Deville also competed in MMA fights. Asked if he saw the historic title reign of Roman Reigns coming, Paul Heyman said on WWE's The Bump, "Yes, God, this is like a deposition." Asked and answered, "Yes, and I envision it 3 years from now, and 3 years after that, and 3 years after that." Roman Reigns wanted to be the greatest of all time. Roman Reigns wanted to solidify his legacy. Roman Reigns knew that he had peaked as the big dog, and there was nowhere left for him to go. 4 WrestleMania main events, multiple heavyweight championships, what more could Roman Reigns have pulled off? Then he realized there is more. There is a higher mountaintop. There is more greatness to pursue. There is the claim that John Cena could be the greatest of all time. There is the claim that Bruno Sammartino was the greatest champion of all time. These were all goals that Roman Reigns said, we're gonna go after them one by one, and like snipers, we're gonna pick them off. So that's what ended up doing. So yes, when Roman Reigns went after the championship, I knew he was going to be reigning at least this long, if not far longer. I knew the legacy that we were going to create, and we're just getting started around here. Touching on Olympic gold medalist and WWE superstar Gable Steveson pulling out of the 2023 Senior World Championship set for later this month, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio that this is a real weird one. So he's not doing the World Championships is the gist of the story. This whole thing is so strange because he not only competed, he competed in 2 events to get to where he was going to do the World Championships, and then he doesn't compete in the World Championships, and he dominated in the events. Ultimately, it was so weird to me because last week he was still listed as doing it, but every time I asked people at WWE, is he doing it? I never got an answer. They had to approve him doing it. So they approved him going back to the US for the Nationals this year. They approved him doing that. He blitzed everybody. Then Final X, where he would face Mason Paris for the shot. He beat him in 2 straight matches, dominated in both matches as well. Explaining why he doesn't think he and his real-life girlfriend Tiffany Stratton should be paired on screen in WWE, Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser told Sportskeeda, "I think that Tiffany doesn't really need to jump on that opportunity or that storyline that I'm doing right now because she is so amazing by herself. She's going to go her own way, so she does not by any means needs any kind of support or push from my side. She's a one-of-a-kind athlete and a one-of-a-kind person, and she's been doing so amazing. She came so far in the last 1.5 years, it's crazy. I've been doing this for 16 years, and she's not even doing it for 2 years, and she came so far already. So this is just the beginning of her journey, and I definitely want her to enjoy that and want her to be able to take her time and face every challenge one at a time." With his daughter Ariana returning at NXT Heatwave, Santino Marella said this about her potential, telling Reffin' It Up, "I can't wait to go to WrestleMania with my daughter in a match, and it's going to be so much more fun than going to WrestleMania to participate. Just to go as a dad, you know. I'm hoping she's called up sometime next year. She's going to do well. I'm pretty sure that my lens is objective. It's not just because she's my daughter. She's good, she's very good, and she was really growing in popularity very fast before her knee injury, and the reason she got the knee injury injury is because she knows how to work with people that are green, because she knows how to guide them and tell a story, and they put her with some rookie athletes and they did something and blew her knee out. But yeah, and I'm not talking about just being there. I'm talking about top 5 girls breaking off into movies later. Our goal is that she's a female Rock. We're not just looking to participate, she has the potential to be a female Rock. For WWE's plans on how to use the Great Khali, Ringside News wrote that WWE Hall of Famer the Great Khali is set to make an appearance at the upcoming WWE Superstar Spectacle event. While the specific details of his role in the show have not been revealed, his presence is expected to add a special element to the event. The Great Khali left WWE in November 2014 when his contract expired. Since then, he has made occasional special appearances with the company. In 2021, he was honored with an induction into the WWE Hall of Fame, recognizing his contributions to the wrestling industry. Although Khali hasn't been an active in-ring competitor, his appearances have always generated significant fan interest. His last WWE match took place in April 2018 during the 50-man Greatest Royal Rumble match in Saudi Arabia. As it's been reported that WWE has quietly re-signed the Authors of Pain. This was said about what is next for them in the company, with Sean Ross Sapp noting, several sources have told Fightful that months after our initial report that AOP Authors of Pain, Legion of Pain have actually been under contract with WWE since 2022, though we haven't confirmed as much. Specifically, we were told it was before Vince McMahon came back because that put a halt on all signings besides new recruits. There have been some signings in recent months, however. AOP were actually on an internal travel list back in May. AOP haven't wrestled a match at all since being released back in 2020, and had some ill-fated WES shows set for Europe in 2022. Those that we spoke to said that AOP made sure Paul Ellering was heavily involved in negotiations. PW Insider added that there has been a lot of talk within the last week about the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering returning to make some WWE appearances soon, most likely for the WWE NXT brand. We first heard the talk about 3 weeks back, and over the last 24 hours, there was discussions backstage at last night's NXT taping about them possibly making appearances next month, so stay tuned. The duo were signed to WWE developmental deals in 2016 and released in September 2020. They had announced and were promoting events under the Wrestling Entertainment Series banner, but the first event announced was postponed and later canceled. Talking about a possible return to WWE for CM Punk following his physical altercation and firing from AEW, Zelina Vega told Alfonso Castillo, "I don't know much about his situation with AEW, but I've always had a fantastic relationship with CM Punk. You hear all these things about him. I am so big on not listening to other people's experiences, the dirt sheets, all that crap. There's so many reasons I'd like to see a Punk return, and not just for me, but for the fans. He's always been a fantastic person. There's layers to people, and when people are just so hung up on the outer layers of what a person can be, you get stuck there. And if you want to stay there, that's great. But when you get to know the core of a person, that's where I like to hang out. To me, Punk's been nothing but great." Talking about his aspirations in AEW, one half of the Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens, told the Out magazine, "As much as I hope the Acclaimed, the tag team I'm a part of, stays forever, I would love to become AEW's first gay world champion. I got the tag team titles checked off the list, but there hasn't been a gay world champion. I would also like to be a Grand Slam champion too, which is where you win every title once." Giving a WWE status update on LA Knight, Ringside News said that according to PW Insider, negotiations for a long-term contract between Knight and WWE officials are either nearing completion or have already concluded. Some sources suggest that this contract could extend for up to 5 years. Despite Knight's existing success, it has been widely reported that WWE officials were waiting for the right moment to fully commit to his significant push. The recent report indicates that securing the long-term contract contract was a crucial step before advancing with the push. WrestleVotes previously reported that WWE updated its internal talent board after Payback, with Knight listed as the top babyface superstar on SmackDown. According to PW Insider, the current plans entail positioning Knight as one of the top babyfaces on the Blue brand, if not the top one. Despite Drew McIntyre recently returning to WWE action, it looks like he is yet to sign a new contract, as Ringside News wrote. Drew McIntyre is now back in the fold and has been a part of Monday Night Raw lately. However, according to WWE Insider BWE, Drew McIntyre is yet to sign a new deal with WWE, and there is no indication he will do so anytime soon. It was added that his contract is nearing its end. It appears that once again Ace Steel has been fired by AEW, as he was first let go by the promotion due to his involvement in the fight with CM Punk against the Elite backstage. It was said that following the termination of CM Punk this past weekend, PWInsider.com has learned that Chris Guy, aka Ace Steel, was released by AEW earlier today. There had been talk over the last month that AEW was looking into a space in Florida for Steel to train and work with talents, but that obviously will not come to pass. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.